Three Crowns, three different whiskeys. 4-year-old Irish grain. We have a 10-year-old single malt, and we have a 15-year-old single malt with a sherry finish. Hi, WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany. And today I have the second video of the Dunville series called Three Crowns Vintage Blend Belfast Irish Whiskey. This was produced in Ireland. Now, Dunville is bottled at the Linville Distillery. That is on the Ards Peninsula on the east coast of North Ireland by Belfast. Shane Braniff, he had this dream of having his own distillery. So in 2013, he actually received the license from the government and he started distilling whiskey at his estate. The name he chose was Dunville, which was actually the name of a real whiskey from 1837 until 1936 from the Royal Irish Distillery in Belfast. So for 80 years, no one used this name. He took over the name and tried to use this name and have some recognition in the whiskey industry. And at his estate, the Linville Distillery in Kirkcubin, Kircubbin, he has actually started to grow his own barley, malt his own barley, which is absolutely exceptional, and also ferment, distill, and bottle his own whiskey. Now, he's gotten so far as putting a lot of different barrels into the warehouse, and they are 3.5 years old at the moment in the summer of 2017. And he's been quoted online as well as in local newspapers as saying the whiskey needs another 3 to 5 years. So what we have here is a mixture. 3 Crowns, 3 different whiskeys. We have a 10-year-old Irish grain. We have a 4-year-old Irish grain. We have a 10-year-old single malt, and we have a 15-year-old single malt with a sherry finish. So what does my nose say? It says gin. I am not a good friend of gin. I was 16, my good friend Kyle and I, maybe if he ever watches this video, Kyle, hey, at his father's and mother's house, we got drunk for the first time in my life and I threw up. And the only time in my life I got so drunk that I threw up. And we had tried, I think, maybe 10, 12, 14 different things, and the very, very last thing I drank was gin. And while praying to the porcelain god, that's the taste I had in my mouth. And I never have been able to drink gin with pleasure since. And the Three Crowns Vintage Blend from Dunville reminds me, at least in the nose, of the gin. It's amazing. It's not whiskey for me, it's gin. Now, if you love gin and you love whiskey, this is the product to get, I hope. So 43.5% ABV. In Germany, 48 euros and 90 cents, which roughly is around $55 in the summer of 2017, I'm sorry. And this has been on the market since 2016 over here in Germany and Europe. And in January of 2017, they sent 2 containers over to the States because the other whiskey I just did the other day, the Dunville Very Rare, the VR, the 10-year-old, was actually awarded the World Whiskey Award 2015 and 16 for Best Single Malt under the age of 12. No, I just get gin. You took some Irish whiskey, some Jameson, poured a little bit of gin in there. That's what I have, and it's not very good. 43.5%, which is a weird ABV if you ask me. Shane Braniff, what were you thinking? I don't know. We have to try it. Wow, is that hot? Wow. No, not my favorite. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of water in here. I'm going to water it down to 38%, give or take. water-soluble oils and fats and different things are coming out of the surface, and it's changing the composite or the composure, the context of this whiskey. And I think it actually might make it a little bit better. Okay, the gin is still there, but it's not as distinct as before. It's not a great Irish whiskey. I underline, I emphasize, I highlight, put it in bold, and let it blink in red. I cannot recommend the Dunville 3 Crowns Vintage Blend. No. It's hot. It's young. That 4-year-old grain just comes through and kicks you in your head. It's not even very flavorful or complex. The sherry butts they've been used, let's just say, too many times. It's not a whiskey I can recommend. The other whiskey, the very rare from Dunville, is much, 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 much better. It costs about $5, $8 more. But if you can find it, take that instead. What's going to happen in, 2020, that's going to be interesting to see what Dunville actually puts on the market, or they might actually not use the word Dunville at all in the marketing, but instead it'll be Echlinville from the distillery, and that would be interesting. WhiskyJason here, a whiskey from the viewpoint of an American. He's going to give it a D-, and the value for price is going to be a fail. This stuff is absolutely not something I can recommend, as I said. So, please dislike, subscribe. My mission is to review rare and exotic whiskeys that are very, very difficult to find in the US and or England. And that's what I'm trying to do. I have the opportunity to taste things here in Europe, especially in Germany, that you might not get your hands on in the States. And then sooner or later, it might actually make it to the States, and then you can watch these videos and say, good or bad or whatever. That's what it is. So I do review bad whiskeys, and I do review great whiskeys. And I thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, and please recommend this weird American WhiskyJason here to other people. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.